All right.
We here. We here. We here. I told y'all. I told y'all. This, but I'm at peace, even though as a fan, I hate to see my Sixers lose to anybody, especially Boston. However, our salvation is one game away. One game away. And honestly, this game, I'm gonna say this: I can't completely put everything on Brett. He did some things. I'll say he did some things that I like, that I wish he would have did before to other players that we talked about, like TLC. I like how he actually kept Alec Burke in the game, even though he struggled. I dug that he rolled with him. Now, whether it was out of desperation, he ain't really had nobody
Yeah,
else to go with. I mean, because
pretty
I
much.
saw, but
No,
I say this, who I didn't see come in the game, who he loved, I didn't see Neto. Now, he normally he could have went with Neto, he could have pulled Burke out. Let me try to get some energy from Neto going up. Nah, Burke was struggling and he stayed with him, and Burke actually made up for it with some big shots late in the game, even though too little, too late. But I dug that he rolled with Burke.
you trying to act like you trying to treat Brett like it's like you feed your own kids. That's what you're supposed to do.
No, I mean, no. See, but I'm just saying that because remember, I don't know about y'all, but one of my big dislikes or problems that I had with Brett was that he wouldn't do that for his young players. Now, keep in mind, Burke ain't that young, but even still, Brett had a habit of yanking dudes quickly in and out the lineup and destroying confidence.
You know
And he
why I can't
finally
give him
went
no
with
credit? I can't give him credit for that.
Why not?
Who was
Exactly.
the first man off? Who was the first man off the bench? Was it Burke?
No,
Who was it?
it was Court.
Exactly. He
And
got to
that's-
have a European come off first. Or well, I guess that whole team is foreigners, but I mean,
I don't care. It's just that you gotta have the dude that gives you the best chance to win.
I agree.
Korkmaz ain't it. He can't
And he
play
just
defense.
hit
We
him.
see
Yep.
he was getting abused on defense. And when he's not hitting, he's a liability. He was 0 for 4
Exactly.
tonight,
That's
man.
facts.
But only thing I think Brett Brown did was just give his starters more minutes. Every one of the starters almost played 40 minutes, except Gerard, where he played 35. Our starters played a ton of minutes.
You know what's funny though? At one, I don't know. Maybe I was the only one to notice this. At one point, it seemed like they was playing like street ball, like they wasn't running his. It was like they was just like when you saw like Shake started taking the ball to the basket and going like
That was
they didn't look.
desperation. They was
But that's what I'm saying.
desperate.
And that's when they started getting into the game.
That's who he didn't yank in and out though. Shake.
Yep.
So for $100 million, $100 million man that we signed from Boston, which they didn't protest, they didn't care. They gave us to him. He shot 1 for 5, 6 points.
Yeah, 38 minutes.
38 minutes.
He was a sleeper cell. Boston planted him here.
I will say this: as a team, I was encouraged to see a lot of fight. This is why I'm content with Brent leaving, even with this lineup. I still think a good coach could come in here and tweak a couple of things and get us back on track. I saw a lot of fight. Even Jay Rich. Jay Rich came to ball. I can't hate on Jay Rich. He showed scrap on defense. He was diving around for loose balls. He was getting his hand in the mix. This team, even Tobias, as whack as he played, he hustled. He hustled his behind him. He had like 7 to 8 offensive rebounds.
If he could just tap them suckers in, he missed like 4 or 5 tippings.
But
and he missed a dunk.
He missed a dunk. Two of the three offensive rebounds was his own missing, so I don't give you too much credit for that. But however,
exactly,
he was scrapping though. He was scrapping. I got
it. Moses Malone made a career off of them.
Why us in Philly love Hart? I want talent. I'm tired of hearing the Hart. I'm tired of hearing about Hart. We heard about Hart all with TJ McConnell. I'm tired of Hart.
Exactly.
Give me some talent in here, man.
Which is why the Sixers probably, as much as I wanted to give Elton Brand another shot at this point, I don't. But again, I feel like all the choices and decisions that he made was based off of what Brett Brown wanted him to do. Because the players that he brought in was Brett Brown type players. Like the final score of the game was 102-94. Boston beat us again. We supposed to quote unquote had home field advantage because it was our fake crowd noise, but it meant nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Did y'all hear when Brett Brown tried to give it props? Yeah, I think the crowd got us worked up. Like,
And
what?
that's
Like, do
another
you
reason why he
realize
should
this
be
is a
fired.
fake crowd?
That's why he should be fired. Dumb stuff like that.
For that reason alone, he got to go
Dumb
for his
stuff
full.
like
I
that.
did Brett like the coaches. I mean like the players. I didn't even listen to him when he was talking out there.
And when he said that, I was like, I didn't hear it. Did I mishear it?
Y'all notice when the Clippers, when they had Tobias, when Pat Riley and the Miami Heat, when they had Richardson, they had them both in their starting lineup, and they said, you know what? They're not for us to be a championship caliber squad. So they traded them both to the Sixers, who we thought, they look like they championship squad players. And then we took them and made them our starters when they wouldn't do it to them.
I mean, and if you talking about Jay Rich, I mean, if for real, if you look at it, Miami got Jimmy, and of course if they was getting Jimmy, of course you won't give up Jason. That's not even a question.
So why did we do that then? We had Jimmy. We
know why Jimmy ain't here. We know why. Didn't I share the thing, the JJ interview? That
Jimmy ain't like Brett.
And they made a decision on Brett over Jimmy. Meanwhile, Jimmy's team is up 3-0 on the Indianapolis Pacers.
Yep.
Indiana Pacers.
Yep.
And we 0-3 on our way out the door.
But hold up, Tim.
When's the elimination game? Sunday?
For both, theirs is tomorrow and ours is Sunday.
Are you who you got? Last time you picked the Sixers last time. Who you got Sunday?
I did pick the Sixers on the day.
Pick them again, Tim. Pick them again.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over.
That same energy, Bogus.
It's over.
We might get one.
Nah, it's over. I was like Barkley. Barkley be putting the kiss of death on all the teams he picked.
Not tonight, because he picked Boston.
He did.
But listen, Tim, I got to keep going back to this whole point about Elton Brand. You saying you ready to tap, but Elton Brand had a year and a half. And in that time, okay, Tobias Harris isn't the great player, even though we did give up a draft pick for him, but we had a stack of draft picks.
Yeah, we gave him several picks.
And we gave up. I think we all liked Shamit.
Exactly. I'd rather have Shamit on our squad right now.
Did Tobias Harris?
Yes.
What is Shamit doing?
No,
he just don't.
They about to get put out by Dallas.
Listen, Shamit ain't $185 million right now.
See, there you go. See, now you sound like all them other. If I was getting paid $180 million, I would love to play.
So you saying Tobias worth $180 million?
We're not talking about money. We talking about player.
Is Tobias worth
but money?
contract?
But money matters when he's holding. When you pay him because you expect something out.
So
of him.
who else was you? I
don't care about the money.
Who else was you gonna get for that money?
I don't. Listen, it's about
who else was he gonna get?
I'm not a GM. That's not. Listen, that's not my job. That's their job to get in the best talent for the money.
And that's why his job is to get the best available talent he can get. That's even like Horford. As much as I hate the Horford thing, and I like you already know, I said I would have went with Julius Randle, who was cheaper and younger. That was my choice in at that position. But Elton Brand brought us in. He brought us in Toby. He brought us in Jimmy. He brought us in Trey Burke. He brought us in Alec Burks, Robinson the third. He brought his players in here. Brett didn't use the players, and then we let the players go. So that's why I'm saying I'm not on that get rid of Brand right now.
But whose job is it to let players go? That's his job too. His job. He the one that released players. Brett don't.
If it's a matter of
they got to sit down and be like, what's best for the team. They got to come to decision. What's best for the team. Right. Trey Burke was better for the team than NATO. We see that already.
But how do you know the owner's not sitting up there and saying, well, this is our coach, this is our guy. Give him a chance to do things his way.
They got rid of all the guards. We are in such dire need of a guard, and they just let them all go.
Yeah.
I agree.
See, but this let me backtrack a little bit. And I'm going to get on my soapbox because y'all know I've been talking about this. I don't think I've mentioned this too much on the podcast. This has been personal conversation. All this stemmed really from Brett. That whole move with Tobias. Remember why we got Tobias? We got Tobias because we traded the bull who should have been playing in Tobias' spot, and that was Mikal Bridges on draft day.
Absolutely.
6-7. Yep. Now you think about the ramifications of that move. the ramifications of that move made us spend $180 million on Tobias, and it made us trade draft picks and give away Shen. So we gave away a shooter. It gave away 100. What would Kel Bridges make? 40 million. So we gave away 100.
Never mind the fact that we wasted two draft picks because you got Shamet and then you got Zaire Smith. Yes. So that's 2 years of first round picks got wasted.
And that's what I'm saying. So that one move.
Are we counting Fultz in that wasted first round pick too?
We talking about in that draft that Ephraim's talking about. Mm-hmm. And guess what? That draft was the year when Brett Brown was the GM.
Yes. Yep. That's why, and that's why, and I do agree with Wayne because in all intents and purposes, Elton Brand had to piece together what was then dismantled. Mm-hmm. So in his best effort to piece this thing together, he made some crazy moves, but at the end all be all, he built a championship squad last year. He did. That team, in all intents and purposes, if we would have got past Toronto, we could have won the finals because if we would have ran into the same Golden State team Toronto did, we would have beat them. We would have beat that Golden State team.
I'm going to tell you, the only thing I think about the Sixers they fell into the trap of, and everybody kept screaming it, and they claim is the reason why they traded Fultz, we need to win now. We was never in that we need to win now or it ain't going to work situation. We listen to these fans and we need to win now. He ain't going to help us win now. We got to win this year. Like that just destroyed the whole team. You threw everything in, all your eggs in one basket for 1 year, and it didn't work, and now look where we at.
Yeah. But we were really – go ahead, Tim, my fault.
No, because the Bull, going back to Markel Bridges, his mom works for the 76ers organization. He won a championship in the city of Philadelphia for the Philadelphia region.
Did Philadelphia win too?
I don't know if he was part of both of them, but I know he won that. He got a championship under his belt.
It was huge and had huge shots.
Yes, and he's personally said, my desire is to play for Philadelphia. It got drafted by the team he rooted for his entire life. Yep. Brett Brown came on the stage and said, you know what? It's going to be a big-time draft coming up in a couple of years. We could move this draft pick, and it could be really valuable for us in the future, which he traded it anyway. It didn't make no sense. Gave away Mikal Bridges, who is balling, who's our three-point shooter who can actually ball.
And keep in mind, let me just to your thought 1 second. We got him at a steal. We drafted him, I think it was like 8 or 9. He was the fifth ranked player in the draft, by the way. Yep. Continue.
Yeah. So we gave him all of this leeway. And then Brett Brown, what he do? And he still stinks it up. Then he drafts Zaire Smith, who couldn't even get to the bubble. Kept sending them back down. And then you saw with Shake, when Shake is with an actual good coach in the D League, he balls out. But so when he gets with Brett Brown, he loses his mind.
Brown didn't do bad today. Shake actually he got a lot more minutes. He actually did not do bad.
No, Shake didn't do bad. Like I said,
I'm telling you, Brett confuses these dudes, man. He confused. They don't. You have too many players say that they don't know what they want. And then when you got these young guys that come in, it's like, okay, like you don't let them get a rhythm. Like he said about even just with Burks. Why isn't he coming back in? That should be your sixth man. He'd improved it. He should be the first ball coming in off that bench for either guard position. But yet Brett, either Neto or Korkmaz, so he don't know what he's doing, man. He guessing.
Which goes back to last year. I know y'all remember this. They did when the Sixers played the Bulls last March, and Jimmy Butler, they had the ball.
The defensive play?
Yes. This is what Jimmy Butler said. Yep. I'm out of here. So the Bulls, Zach LaVine, he had the ball and he was inbounding the ball. And so it was Jimmy Butler and it was
Mike Scott.
So Jimmy was like, let me fight through the pick. Let me stay with my man. That's what Jimmy Butler, that's all he said. Brett Brown was like, no, you just hop on and you just stay with whoever's closest to you. So they did that. Jimmy got confused. They all went with the inbounder, and Zach LaVine went and laid the ball up, and they won the game. I think it was like by 1 point. They beat us. And Jimmy was like, this is the dumbest thing ever. And then then what happened was they started the clock, and Jimmy yelled out something like, you better run a better play than this. But I think he cursed. But he was so pissed off because we kind of lost the game twice. If you remember, we lost the game twice on the it ended and they brought the money back. But that's when Jimmy Butler checked out the entire the Sixers. He realized then that Brett Brown was not the coach for him, and he needed to be with a real coach.
Yep.
And we should have learned our lesson from that play last year, and then we should have kept Jimmy. That was the killer for me. That's when I checked out of Brett Brown forever.
So now the ultimate blame is on Josh Harris. Then the owner of the Sixers. That's his name, right? Josh Harris or something.
He don't know basketball. You expect that.
Basketball.
That's why I hate these.
I mean, but my thing is,
basketball.
it's one thing not to know basketball, but you should understand the temperature of your players and what you need. Remember, I think it was after that when Jimmy saved the game for us. It might have been the early playoff game, and Brett Brown or late in the season, something. Brett Brown was like, his name is James. He was a grown man and all this stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they asked Jimmy Butler about it. He was like, "No, my name is Jimmy."
That was a cat. That was a cat. That was a cat. He was trying to cap him up.
A smile or nothing. He was just like, "No, it's Jimmy. It's not James."
It's Jimmy.
And that lets you know he don't like this dude. So now as an owner, you can't see that. Like you might not know basketball.
He tried to play with his ego.
You
Jimmy,
should know.
Jim, he was the grown up in the room.
I guess sometimes as an owner though, you got to make a decision either the coach or the player, and I guess they went with the coach at this.
I agree. And it was.
But you know what? I kind of agree with you though too, Ephraim, because I need to know who, because if you remember, Jimmy said in that interview, Jimmy was talking about what made him know to leave, and he said it got back to him that somebody in the front office or somebody up high in the organization came to Elton Brand and said, "Can you control Jimmy?" So when Jimmy heard that, said, "Can you control Jimmy?" He was like, "Control me?
I'm a grown man.
I'm out."
Yep, I'm a grown man.
So I don't know who it was that said. First of all, I don't know who told him. It might have been Elton Brand trying to join him up, like, "Yo, see, they just want to make sure I can take care of you. They just want to make sure." You know how ball play they stuff like they trying. He's like, "Oh, word? That's how they feel. Oh, I'm out." That's what I think happened.
Elton sold. Remember, Elton sold Trey Burke a dream. "Come over here, man. I got you." Remember, Trey Burke said, "I'm only here because of Elton Brand."
Yeah.
And then he couldn't get on the floor. Couldn't get no burn.
But they need to clean the whole house, because I'm hearing that they still got balls that was still left over from what's the one that was at the fake Twitter account, the GM?
Colangelo.
Yeah, they still got some of his staff still there.
Really?
That's still working. So they need to clean from top to bottom, get rid of all these jokers, and get some fresh ideas in there.
I agree. But see, that's why you bring in a strong coach. You bring in a Jason Kidd, or you bring in I'd even take the people that I would look at: Jason Kidd, Mark Jackson. I don't know if he being blackballed or whatever. The guy that was doing it, Van Gundy. I would love to have Stan Van Gundy as the Sixers coach.
I like Tim Legler. I think
you've been mentioning Tim Legler for a while. I mean, I don't think that would be a bad move either.
I don't know if I want to retread. I don't want to retread anymore.
Who you want?
You can find it. Ain't the first of all. It's talent. They can find somebody to coach. Why don't you find one of these assistant coaches?
You mean like Brett Brown?
Yeah, I mean, listen, come on. These coaches, somebody got to start somewhere.
Truth be told, I wouldn't mind bringing the bull whatchamacallit back in here. The bull Cleveland old coach, the one who LeBron went with.
Tyronn Lue?
Want no retread.
Tyronn Lue. I wouldn't mind getting around Tyronn Lue.
I don't know. I don't
know
his
good
philosophy.
Of a coach, to be honest with you, sometimes when you look at the dudes that coach LeBron,
truth be told, I know who I like for real. I like the bull Mike Brown, assistant coach for Golden State. Used to be a coach in Cleveland. When he coached Golden State, he had now granted Golden State was a well-oiled machine, but he actually coached them better than Kirk coached them. He had that team running on all cylinders. I like Mike Brown.
My two top candidates is Jason Kidd, because I seen what he did.
I like that.
Working with a talent like Giannis and that team and how he helped build that team up. And my other dude, I like Stan Van Gundy, because he was the last dude that took a team built around a big man and took them to the finals.
And what about the coach just got fired from from Memphis? What's his name, from Memphis, I think? What's the dude?
I don't even know.
Was it Toronto coach? Who?
New Orleans coach got fired.
Toronto coach is over in Detroit now. You talking about the Black
New Orleans coach just got Alvin Gentry. Gentry?
Gentry.
You want him? He couldn't coach. He couldn't coach that talent he had over there.
No.
Yeah, Gentry was in. Where was he at this time? Where did he just get fired from? He was over in.
He was in New Orleans.
Detroit. He was trash in Detroit.
But it wasn't fair for New Orleans, because he ain't have enough time to work.
Yeah, he ran into the whole Anthony. Wasn't he there with the whole Anthony Davis debacle and all that?
Man, he was trash with Detroit.
But who did Detroit have though? Detroit ain't had nobody.
What this?
Y'all about to say Lenny? Y'all about to say bring us Lenny Wilkins?
Lenny, is he still alive?
I don't know. No, I mean, we can find our Nick Nurse.
What's the coach? What's the coach who coached Toronto who got fired and then the white boy came in there?
He's in Detroit.
He's in Detroit now.
You talking about Casey, Dwayne Casey? He's in Detroit
okay.
now.
That's what they about. All right, Detroit. Okay.
Right now,
that's what I'm telling you. The two best options is Jason Kidd or Van Gundy, in my opinion. Unless but I do agree with Ethan. But see, this is the only thing though, Ethan, with your theory of going with another young. Who's going to choose that young? Who's going to choose that coach? Who are you trusting to look at another organization and say, you know what? He's a great mind.
That's why I wanted. I don't want Elton Brand. I want a new GM.
So who's the GM?
I don't trust Elton Brand to do that.
Who's the GM?
I want the boy. Who's the old boy we had? Billy What's his name?
Billy King?
No.
You want the same dude that went to the New Jersey Nets and brought in like I'm about to say.
He brought a washed up Kevin Garnett.
Yes. Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce.
I think you might be able to get somebody in here. Even like a what's the boy, Avery Johnson? You might be able to get somebody, Avery Johnson or something. Somebody who's been around, who a basketball mind, been around coaching, been around.
You know who I actually think is a decent coach though? And I actually think
I'm talking about the big GM.
Oh, okay. I actually think the dude that coached the Nets, I think a good coach too, but I think he's a good coach.
He an interim coach this year, right?
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about the boy that coached the Nets. Remember the Nets was trash.
No, they got remember the Nets. Didn't the Nets coach get fired this year? And dude's the interim coach.
I'm talking about the one that got fired. He got fired because he didn't get along with Kyrie, and he said he didn't want to coach Kyrie and Durant.
Yo, I would bring in a boy from Toronto, that president Yuri. I would bring him in.
Think he leaving?
What'd you say?
What make you think he leaving? He just won a finals and he on a hot track to another one.
He wanted to leave. They say he was trying to get New York. Look it up.
Oh,
really?
Listen, I
would give him everything.
I want some fresh eyes. I want some a new direction. You know what I mean? Because we gonna be in a mini rebuild next year.
I think
our whole bench. We need a whole bench.
I don't agree with that.
They should have left Korkmaz in Turkey. Instead, they brought him back.
Burke's not coming back. Burke's a free agent. Who coming back next year?
But that's what I'm saying. How you know they're not coming back?
If Brett Brown don't come back, a lot of them will probably come back.
We got Zaire Smith coming back. We got
He's
Big Dog.
trash. He can't play.
we got Glenn Robinson. We got Big Dog's son coming back.
That's what I'm talking about. We need, you know what, the kind of coach we need though.
They are decent bench players. The guys not of course not Zaire Smith, but Burks and Big Dog son.
We need
they decent bench players.
We need a real X's and O coach though. We need somebody to teach the X's and O's to these players, man.
But that's what Van Gundy is. That's why I'm saying Van Gundy. That's what he is.
Can we just drill down with this one boy in particular that needs the as much as he played hard, Joel Embiid, but he has to learn to pass out the double team much faster. That has to be taught. They have to strip him pretty much from the root, like to the bare bones. And like, listen, you get that double team. And with Boston, what they do is they triple team everybody. Remember, we originally thought that Boston was just doing that to Ben Simmons, like building that wall because they knew he couldn't shoot. As I've been watching the series, that's their defense. That's a staple of their defense. There is three people that compound on a one individual, and then they suffocate that person and they wind up turning the ball over. Embiid did that at the end of the game.
You mean like how you thought Al Horford was shutting Embiid down when
exactly.
I can't hate on
how
Embiid
that's what
too
y'all
much.
thought.
But
Embiid
I'm saying
well.
Boston's defense is clear as day, and Brett Brown can't figure it out. Then remember the middle of the game, they was doing one-on-one, and we was actually scoring, and then all of a sudden he went into that zone, and next thing you know, it froze everybody up.
Yeah, he did. That makes it. Listen, let me tell you. First of all, this adds to a point that Ethan has made. He's made for years. The Sixers are like one of the dumbest basketball IQ teams that you come up. It's like they don't understand how a team throws a zone. They throw a zone and they throw your whole squad out of whack. Even the coach.
Because you don't practice, because it's not being practiced.
They don't practice nothing, evidently. Evidently, they just go and shoot around.
Yep.
Yes. It's not a real practice. Remember, Jimmy was like, I don't know.
What I'm talking about.
Every player that came to Philadelphia said, I don't know my role on this team 3, 4, 5 months into the season. That's
everybody said that. Markel said that, even though he's supposed to be point guard and all that stuff. How your point guard don't know a role? That's crazy. But Tim, to your point about B, and this is what I was saying before about him making split decisions. Remember, I might have talked about that on the podcast about making quick decisions even when you want to shoot. It was funny when, remember the bull, what's the dude, Enos Cantor, I think? He banged 2 quick jump shots in B face, right? The next possession down, they passed to B. B made a very quick shot, knocked down the jump shot. That if he continues to make quick decisions, he could be successful. When you start holding it, you wait for the defense to come. They trap you, and then, like you said, Tim, even when they trap you, you're not making a quick decision to pass out. But I saw Sixers make a lot of plays where all they had to do was make one more pass, and it would have been a better shot.
Exactly.
I saw a lot of that tonight. It was frustrating me. One time, Jay Rich took a shot, or it was either Jay Rich or Milton, and they could have passed it one more time to a wide open Toby. Now, he probably would have knocked it down. However,
or like if somebody did that with B, remember, I think one of y'all mentioned B was like, B had like Kimba or somebody, or he had Tatum on him.
Yeah,
Tatum
in the middle. Yeah,
exactly. It was a lot of plays like that I saw that let me know, like that. Even Jay Rich, like he came down, he knocked 2 threes within his range. Y'all remember this? And then the third 3 he took was like a logo Lillard
a heat check,
And I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, that's not like when have you ever hit a 3 of beyond the normal 3 range? Like he was like 3 or 4 feet back from the 3. I'm like, yo, you're not logo Dame. Like, chill. So this is the stuff I'm talking about with now, like y'all talking about players not being smart. He's not teaching smart basketball.
Which is why Jimmy Butler left. And meanwhile, on Twitter, Jimmy Butler is trending in Pennsylvania. He's trending right now.
Thus he should be.
I don't want to hear that because I know quite a few Sixers fans. None of us, of course, because all of us wanted Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? But quite a few Sixers.
I mean,
no, he's not a team player. He's a cancer. Yeah.
People like
shut up and dribble. That's what they wanted.
Exactly. Remember they said remember when Sixers management chose Brett Brown and Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler? It's all on Twitter. He's trending right now in Pennsylvania because everybody like Jimmy. Everybody's thinking the same way we are.
Wait a minute. Why'd they say Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, because he had to choose Tobias over.
I mean, somebody just wrote on Twitter. I can't ask the person why they said it. It was a tweet.
Hey, listen, what I tell you about getting into these conversations with these idiots?
Somebody said, I miss Jimmy Butler more than you guys could imagine. It's like.
We knew this, though. We knew. Listen, the Jimmy and B dynamic to me was perfect. For one, first of all, Jimmy fit this team perfectly, other than the coach, because Ben Simmons don't like the spotlight. Ben Simmons don't really want the spotlight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He really wants to be like an under the radar like type dude, and then like explode every once in a while, and people hype him up or whatever.
Yeah.
B loves to talk and do all that. Jimmy likes to be low key, but then like he reels everybody in.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy like the big brother. You know what I'm saying? And then he was the closer.
He was.
Let me give you a Tobias Harris stat for the series.
You ain't got
ready?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I want to hear it.
This your man.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris has 43 points on 49 shots in the series.
Oh my goodness.
He's made 0 threes. And he's taken 11 of them.
11 threes.
And he has just 15 free throw attempts.
And all that being said, the thing that's bothering me the most about him is them daggone putbacks he was blowing because he was right there.
That's what's the worst thing about it.
He had like 5 Jones. He had to tip in.
He got like all these offensive rebounds because he's missing the first attempt and the second attempt.
Is this something about the playoffs with Toby? Because ain't this what happened last year?
But they like,
Toby, he actually had decent playoffs last year.
No, he went cold. Remember he went cold for a while.
Oh, he averaged like 19 and 9 in the playoffs.
When was he on like that 19 streak missing threes? That was on the regular season?
No, that might have been in the playoffs where he
was he like
but see, that's what I'm saying. You get a habit of equating everything to shooting threes. Like if a dude off shooting threes, he was trash because he missed threes. Like dudes miss threes sometimes, especially if they're not really a 3-point specialist.
But
He is a 3-point specialist.
He's not. That's the problem. He's not. But they trying to make him.
But last year,
if he was a 3-point specialist, then why did Brett Brown had a need to say we got to build a bomber?
Wait a minute.
We got to build a bomber because he ain't the bomber.
Wasn't he a 90-40-30 dude? Wasn't he one of them?
What the heck is that?
Or 90.
That sounds like one of those Bron stats.
You're talking about 90% from the free throw, 40% from or 30% from three, and like 40% from the field.
Yeah, before we get off with Jimmy real quick, yesterday on SportsCenter, he said in Miami, I get to cuss people out when they're not doing their job, and they're going to cuss me out when I'm not doing mine. We don't take nothing personal. This was him and this is why he chose Miami. And the coach said, we don't care. He's like, the way Jimmy turns up, we turn up here. So he's a perfect fit for us.
Ben and B can't coincide with Jimmy. These dudes, they too soft.
They couldn't handle that. They couldn't handle that.
B can. B
can't. No, B can't.
Yes, he
no,
can.
B can't.
Why you think he still stay in touch with him now? Like they still cool.
And Jimmy knew how to stroke his ego when necessary, when he needed to.
Exactly.
So it wasn't always constant beating him up.
No, because nobody really came at like somebody really came at B like he came at Shake. B wouldn't better take that. Let's be real.
Well, he liked to loaf around anyway. He just you know how he feeling every time you look at him. You know what kind of mood he in.
He got that. B got that, like, I don't want to say McNabb personality, but he got that McNabb personality as far as
that
he feel like what you say?
He got that Wongus look.
He feel like he could say and do whatever to anybody else, but if you do it to him, he get all in his feelings because he feel he that bull.
But again, it goes to
he's selfish.
It goes to the culture where they built this culture up that these dudes can do no wrong. When you sit there and saying, like, these guys are our future, like, these are the guys, they didn't coddle nobody else like that. Look at how they handle Markelle Fultz. Look how they did the Bull Okafor. The Bull was balling his rookie year. The next year when B came back, they was like, all right, you on the bench. Look how they did the well.
No burn. They destroyed that man's career.
Yeah,
exactly. But then they get beat and they get Ben. It's like, oh no. You don't got to worry about shooting Ben. We gonna do this. And I don't care what nobody said. Ben Simmons quit on this team when they made him be power forward. He ain't get hurt.
Did Brett even?
I agree with that.
Well, you said he did.
Listen,
Let's take something back here for a second.
Listen,
don't nobody just get surgery just to get surgery.
I don't know. No, some crazy people. If you want to date a gender, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You up to anything. But no, listen, Ben probably sitting home right now like, see, if I was playing point guard, I wouldn't have messed my knee up.
See, but it's I'm telling y'all.
He probably wouldn't have, though.
Us getting swept is a good thing because you hear – one thing I kept hearing the Bull, what's his name, the ex-coach Bull, keep saying was how much of a difference Ben would have made. And remember, to me, I don't everybody like Ben, but remember, Ben, Boston the same team that kept Ben to 1 point. They dominate Ben. Boston dominates Ben.
I think Ben had decent games against them this year.
We won 3-0 against them this year.
Yeah, Ben actually
played 3-1, one of them.
Listen, when it's playoff time, Ben gets shut down.
Very
Boston would have put that D on him and they'd have shut him down, and we'd be in the same situation we is now. But I'm cool. Listen, I'm cool with it because it makes Ben look good. It's raising his stock. So now we can get Giannis. We can put that trade into the play that we talking about, and we can get Giannis here. So I'm cool with everybody thinking Ben is
no,
better.
It ain't because Ethan's squad is not holding up their end of the bargain.
Who?
Orlando ain't gonna beat the Bucks if they Orlando beat
tomorrow?
The Bucks.
They gonna win tomorrow.
Beat the Bucks.
Orlando winning tomorrow.
Yeah. No, the universe got everything right. LA got back on everything right. Is right with the world.
Dame Tom. He's the greatest. Dame Tom was on the bench.
Dame got hurt. He dislocated his finger.
Listen, he ain't get hurt until that game was over, bro. He got hurt trying to reach and I watched the whole game.
Listen, AD decided to show up. He's not going to show up the next game. He only show up every other game.
All I know is he played like a grown man against them dudes.
Yeah, he did.
He played like a grown
man. And LeBron
man.
gave him like 10 points. So it's like if AD don't show up, the series is over. It's all up to AD.
No, but it wasn't just AD. It wasn't just AD.
But AD, he set the tone for
pretty
that
much
game.
It was just AD.
He set the tone. No, but the difference was all those other bulls, like the bull Pope. Pope was stroking. He was breaking the first game.
KCP was poping. Was stroking.
They finally put Deion Waiters in the game. Deion Waiters and J.R. Smith in the game too, and they didn't give Caruso all that clock that they was giving him either.
I don't thinking about all the players that walked through the Sixers locker room that was on our team that we can use right now, and that's not here anymore. That leaves kind of bad taste.
That leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Like who are you talking about? Like what players?
Everybody,
like the Trey Burks, the
Muscala back.
Yo, I would take the ball. What's the ball playing for? What's the ball playing for New Orleans? The small forward, the power forward. The ball we drafted and waited 2 years for him to come over.
No, you talking about playing for Phoenix?
You talking about
He playing for Phoenix. Playing for Phoenix. You're right.
You talking about the
Sarge. You talking about Sarge?
I take Sarge over Al Horford right now. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
I would too.
But guess what? Sarge to me was they had to let Sarge go because of y'all boy, Ben Simmons. Because Sarge needed, in order for Ben Simmons to be that guy, you need the 3-point shooter on him. They wanted Sarge out there shooting them threes. Sarge wasn't really a 3-point shooter like that.
No, he wasn't.
But that's the same thing. But see, this is the other thing. I don't know. I don't know how much of it is necessarily Ben or the coach, because like Al Horford, like he doing the same thing with Al Horford, and he's doing this when Ben ain't even playing.
But
y'all got Al Horford jacket.
Y'all gotta remember, Ben Simmons, the first year he got on his team, he took our team from a 20-something win team to a 50-win team. He pretty much doubled it. He did. And then the second year he got us 52 wins.
Stop. First of all, stop making it like Embiid wasn't. Before Ben Simmons got here, the Sixers should have been in the playoffs, but they kept putting Embiid on a minute restriction.
B got hurt. B got hurt that year, and he didn't play the last.
He wasn't hurt. He
played in the beginning. He played in the beginning, and then he got hurt in the middle of the year, and he didn't. Those last 3 months, he didn't play.
They had him on minute. Remember,
he came back with minute restrictions, but he still got hurt that year.
Listen, they would have made the playoffs with Embiid. They would have made the playoffs with Embiid.
He got hurt. They would have
made the playoffs with Embiid.
So Tim, you trying to say Ben Simmons was single-handedly responsible for giving us 50 wins?
Absolutely.
No, because when Ben Simmons started playing, that's when that was Embiid's first full year too. So stop it.
No, Ben, that's what I'm saying. Embiid, but the year before, well, I'm saying the year before last, when Ben wasn't there, but Embiid was there, Embiid got hurt, and we wasn't winning. We
was winning the games that B played. Remember, B wasn't playing every game. They had him playing like every other game.
I mean, what point are you trying to make?
He's saying Ben was the one that resurrected the Sixers to the playoffs. He tripping.
He did.
So once again, what point are you trying to make about that?
The point is, Ben is the future. He's the reason why the Sixers. He's the only reason why we won.
If I close this, will it shut off?
Y'all was I hating the boy Ben.
I'm down to keep Ben. I don't want to.
I'm down to keep Ben one more year for another coach. I mean,
right.
Will we get equal value for Ben if we trade him now? Probably not. So
I'm down with keeping Ben and let me trade for Giannis for one. And for two, at this point, I'm okay with keeping Ben, but I don't have no high aspirations for Ben. Ben's ceiling is here. He's hit his ceiling. Them 16 points a game he's giving you with the 8, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. That's what he's going to give you for the rest of his career.
That's how you got to look at it, though.
I agree.
I mean, for real, because that was the whole problem with Fultz. Remember, everybody was so caught up on it. He was the #1 draft pick, and he's not playing like it. Like, dude, he still's a good player. Young boy,
get out the podcast.
You ain't part of the
crew. No, what happened was Embiid's first year, he played 31 games. That's it.
Because he was playing every other game.
Because he got injured. No, he got injured. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He got injured. If you play every other game, you playing 41 games.
But first year, how much did Ben play that year?
B's first year. Remember, all right, I'm going to take you back. Remember the first year when B first came up, the first year he was able to play, And then Ben Simmons got hurt in the preseason. So B came in. I don't even think B started the season. And then when they finally eased him in to the season, then it was like, well, he's on minute restrict. First, it was like he can't play more than 26 minutes, and then it was like, oh, he can't play back-to-backs, games, and everything else. So they was because remember, that's the year I kept saying the Sixers should be a playoff team. This coach is coddling these dudes, and they playing like chumps. They should have been in the playoffs that year.
Well, let me tell y'all something. B said after the game. He said,
this game.
I don't want to be swept. I don't want that on my resume.
Nigga,
are we winning game 4?
I'm at the
No.
I guess I'll do.
Look at me. He gonna have a sweep on his resume.
Look at me. Look. See, this is the main reason I wore the Thanos shirt. This is what B got to realize.
Price to pay for salvation.
That sweep is the price to pay for salvation. We need that sweep to get everything right.
Yeah, I agree.
So he don't want to sweep on his resume. So he's gonna ball out, gonna give his all next week, on Sunday, because he don't want to.
Guess what? He was supposed to never want to feel like that again when he was crying last year.
We're having all them tears. I heard his fiance left him. Is that true or no?
Who? Embiid?
I didn't hear that. But look, but truth be told, this is B's fault though. You know why this is B's fault? Remember what happened at the end of last year? What did he do? Oh, I want Brett, give Brett another chance. He campaigned for Brett. So this is his fault. Yep. You take this sweep with Brett.
Yep.
Y'all regroup. You go home and let the owners get another coach and don't go in there campaigning for Brett again.
He chose Brett. He chose Brett over Jimmy.
Yes.
And Jimmy
chose. I don't. But you know what? I don't.
He did. He had to know. If Jimmy his man.
How do y'all think?
If Jimmy his man. Let me say this point. If Jimmy's his man, ain't no way in the world he ain't no Jimmy ain't like.
But you know what though? The only reason why I'm saying about that is because if Jimmy said the reason he left was because somebody higher up, somebody up in the front office asked Elton Brand, "Are you going to be able to control Jimmy?" So to me, in order for that to be the thing that made Jimmy go, that means Jimmy was going to be willing to come back here with Brett, but Jimmy wasn't going. But like Jimmy said, Jimmy said in that interview, Jimmy said he had first got here. He was like, he ain't want to rock the boat because he was new here and he knew he had a reputation.
Because he was a free agent.
Once Jimmy get that money,
he gonna mess up his money. But look,
once he get that money and he comfortable.
But listen, this week Tyrone Johnson that works with Philly Sports, he said he spoke with somebody from NBC Sports who said Jimmy will only stay if Brett Brown was gone. That's what he said on the radio this week.
I can believe that. I think Jimmy might have manufactured that story about somebody saying like they was trying to own me. He might have manufactured that to get out of here.
Let me ask y'all.
But he didn't need to manufacture. He had the option to leave Brett anyway.
But that's what I'm saying. I think he tried to make it look like an anonymous, like he ain't want to actually point Brett out because he probably knew B liked Brett. And I don't think he wanted to make it like me or Brett gotta leave. But he left because of Brett. If they would have fired Brett and kept Monty, the bull Jimmy would still be here.
2 questions. How do you think B to respond with a tougher coach? You think B to respond well?
He got to.
Yeah, I don't care how I don't care. I don't care. You'd have been coddled your whole career.
Exactly.
And it got you to here. Right now, I want somebody to come in here that's going to crack the whip. I do. I want to do, and that's why I like Jake. My fault, I don't mean, but that's why I like Jay Kidd because Jay Kidd got that respect of being a baller. And being a dude that been around and know he should have your respect.
And ain't he from the Congo? I mean, how much?
Cameroon.
He's from Cameroon. That's a little.
Cameroon.
Yeah.
What that trading places?
I don't know if B to respond well to.
What's your other question then, Ethan?
Oh, they saying D-Lo will be available. Would y'all go after D-Lo?
Yep. What we gotta get for him?
Ben.
He don't get along with
trade to who? Wait, send him where? Where's that at? Minnesota.
Golden State.
Oh, Golden State.
No.
I don't want to get Ben.
No.
Why y'all acting like that? Yo, why y'all acting like that?
They got the number 2 overall pick, and you gonna send them Ben Simmons?
Yo, did y'all hear
D-Lo doesn't fit in that. D-Lo does not fit.
Did y'all hear they trying to get Embiid? Golden State. That's that they said number 2 pick and something they trying to get Embiid out there because him.
I might do it. I might do that.
Him and Which is real tight.
Who you gonna pick for the number 2 pick?
I'm not giving up.
Melo.
Exactly. You don't even know who coming out.
I'm not giving Embiid. You can't.
I'm picking
you can't
LaMelo.
give
Ball.
Embiid. They'll shut the league
Picking the
down.
ball boy.
LaMelo going first.
I think LaMelo might go 1.
No, they say he going second. LaMelo, they said the other ball going first.
Yeah, Melo's going. They said either 2 or 3.
Listen, I would get D'Lo over here. You would if you kept Ben, you have to put shooters around it.
I'm not giving up Embiid and have him and Steph. That's
So basically, you talking about building Golden State up for look at Ephraim can't stop smiling. You talking about building Golden State up for like another 4-year run.
And
I don't know how good B to do there. To be honest with you,
he would be excellent.
He
First of all,
he don't move enough for them. They system is.
So how well did JaVale McGee move?
He moved way better than Embiid.
No,
After
crazy.
He's
Crazy.
I'll take B just as agile, not better than
You see, DeMarcus Cousins didn't fit well in that system.
Remember,
hurt.
Ethan, you got to remember that 73-19. Remember their center was Bogut. They said it was a stiff European ball.
Exactly.
With
He
73-9.
ain't play a lot.
Huh?
Who didn't? He
Bogut
started.
played a lot. Remember, Bogut was the reason. Remember when Bogut got hurt? Now
He the one that
LeBron
hurt
was able to
Kawhi.
go to the basket. That was the reason why they lost that championship game.
Okay, the only reason B to work there if B is just worry about playing D and getting scrap points.
No,
That's
You
not
think
true
he want to
either.
do that?
That's not true either.
I don't
Because
think
they run half court sets. You don't ever see them posting up Draymond sometimes. They post dudes up too.
They're jump shooting team now.
Listen,
Okay.
you talking
But
about
I'm saying-
but that's the thing with them with the guards coming all the way out on Steph and Clay. You know how open B to be with the one-on-one game? That'd be crazy.
B to be turning the ball over crazy like he do now.
You's a hater.
He be throwing the ball away.
Listen, you just don't want him to go to
He don't
Golden
turn the
State.
ball over a whole lot on single coverage.
Did you actually listen to the podcast he did with Jimmy JJ?
Yeah,
I listened to some of it. I listened to that part.
Because he kept saying all I do is play the video game and sleep. That's a lazy dude.
Who
Who's
and
that?
B?
B?
Yeah, he said that's all I
Yes.
do. Like I sleep all the time and play the video game.
I
You
heard
don't-
that
need
part.
to be
Yeah,
out
I
running.
remember that part.
But
You
that's
need to
why I say about the culture. This is why I said from the jump, you don't have a dude that's out here playing to lose or coaching to lose, like everybody said, or you don't take the dude that's part of the tanking process. You done built a lose. That's why I remember I never really wanted to lose for Wiggins, that winless for Wiggins stuff. Because my thing is, you build a culture in your team and a mindset, this loser mindset, and it's hard to get rid of that. That's why the Clippers was as bad as they was for so long. They was losers.
I could agree with that a little bit, but my thing is the process was actually working. The NBA got scared. I heard Max Kellerman say this earlier, and I agree with it. The league got scared because the process was actually working. We was actually getting all the top draft picks. It was just the fact that, like you said, I agree with you. The coach had to go, but if we would have stuck, if they'd have kept Hinkie, and we would have got a new coach, and we would have stuck to the process, we would have a pretty good roster right now. That's all young and that's all growing together. We blew it all up. Like Ethan said earlier, for this win now mentality, we got to win within the next year.
They tried to rush the process.
Put all
You
up,
can't
we
do
rushed
it.
it, and we destroyed it.
We did that with the Dikembe
Process
Mutombo
is
last year
working.
too. Remember?
Yep. When you baking a cake, you can't rush the steps. You can't try to rush it out of the oven. That's what they did.
I agree with y'all to an extent, but to an extent I don't, because what was the final part of the process, if y'all remember?
A chip.
Yeah.
Not me. To get the chip. Remember,
It's to win
the
a
final
chip.
part was
We breaking car windows, celebrate.
Remember, the process
The final part was Markel Fultz.
no. The final part was
Michelle
supposed to
Bridges.
be. The final part was supposed to be you get 2 big time free agents come because you got this big salary cap. Nobody wanted to come here. Remember when Brett Brown was talking about something?
That was
No,
Brett
it
Brown.
was.
That wasn't part of the process.
That was Brett Brown.
That was
No,
not part of the
It wasn't.
process.
Whose process was we doing? Hinkie's, right?
Yeah,
remember
Brett
what-
Brown said that.
And remember what Hinkie did? Hinkie did that, and then he went out and he got Harden. That was a big time dude to bring in there. So that's what the Sixers process was supposed to be. You build this young talent, and you cut all this. You get all this. You clear up all this cap space, and then when you're ready to hit, the whole thing was we'll get to the free agency when it's time for LeBron and Paul.
That wasn't it. That wasn't it.
But
No,
wait,
because
but
they
wait, but
said
go ahead, Ethan.
they said in order to win in the NBA, you need superstars, and it was to tank to get the superstars in the draft because you wasn't sure to get them through free agency. So getting these number one picks was supposed to be superstar picks.
Yeah, that's
if
what
all our number one picks were superstars, that would be the process worked.
If that's the case, then they wouldn't have been trading them. But they kept trading them, and that's why they kept trading players. They would draft the players, and it's like,
and they would trade for picks.
They would trade them for the picks, and they kept pushing it back until they could get to the point where they could get the big time free agents to come in.
No, they was tanking.
I think it was more like Ethan was saying. And when you tank, see what happened was the years we tanked, we didn't get the picks that we really wanted. We didn't get superstars. The best players available was bulls like Jalil Okafor. He wasn't a transcendent player. We was trying to tank to. We was trying to tank.
They missed out on a lot of good players that they didn't draft right.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's why they started trading them dudes and then waited till we got B, who was transcendent. We got Ben, who we thought was going to be transcendent.
He is.
And who we thought was going to be transcendent. And then once we got those two, now all you had to do was build a nucleus of players. You bring in, like Ethan said, Markelle Fultz, and then you bring in the bull, whatchamacallit, Mikal Bridges. And then, Wayne, but to your point, even if you wanted to do that and bring in Jimmy, now you really said you didn't have to go out and get Tobias Harris. You already had to go out and get Al Horford because you got all them players in the draft already. Now, if you wanted to bring in one more dude who was kind of not maybe a superstar, but good enough to give your team a little bit maturity and leadership, you had Jimmy and we could have rolled. But we blew it all up.
You know what else I don't understand? All this time, why weren't you building a bench with all these players that was coming through our door?
We had them. We let them go.
You could have groomed these dudes and be like, yo, they could still be assets. We could, some of these dudes can actually play a little bit. They still in the league. We can use these teams. We can use these players as pivotal role players on our team. Well, got none of them. It's like we looking for role players every year.
Listen,
why?
What happened was, bottom line was, Brett Brown built this team in his image. He wanted people who don't have a voice, who don't have a killer instinct, and that's what they were saying on TNT. They said nobody on our team would kick over a table or get frustrated after being down or getting smoked by 30. We don't have.
Brett Brown said that.
Yeah. We have nobody on the team like that, and it's because he wanted it that way.
That's because look where he came from. San Antonio was a carbon copy. They had a whole bunch of players, Duncan, Parker, Ginobili, and them. They was docile, but they were ballers. See, he thought that I could get a docile player and just make him into a baller. It don't work like that. Some dudes is naturally laid back, like Duncan's a laid back dude, but Duncan put in work, and Parker put in work. What's that? Tobias Harris stats?
Tobias Harris last 10 playoff games. I gotta send y'all this.
That's Wayne, man. Baby Melo.
That's baby, yeah.
Baby Melo, Wayne.
He played like Melo playing this playoffs.
Yeah, he played like 2020 Melo.
He's bubble Melo. That's bubble Melo.
Listen, I feel a little bit. I feel some type of way about gloating over a man losing his job. I do.
I don't have a problem.
He just stole plenty of money. I ain't never feeling bad for no thief.
No, listen. I do. I do in a little bit. I feel a little bad about it, but
I bet you he get a job somewhere else.
It's time for that's probably true. But it's time for him to go. It's time for him to go. I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
I can't wait to see who gonna be the genius GM to be like, you know what, Brett, come coach our team.
I don't think he'll ever get another job or as a head coach. He might get on somebody's bench, but I can't see him being a head coach anymore.
I agree.
The NBA
He's set though. He paid. He cool. Then he just re-up another contract. You know they got still pay his contract for the next couple of years.
As long as they don't keep him within the organization, because I have a feeling
he'll probably be the GM.
We're gonna have him be part of players like some type.
I will burn my Sixers jersey.
I'll set this hat on fire right here. They kept this ball.
Yeah.
I'll be a Phoenix Suns fan.
All right, so when we come on here Sunday, are we gonna come in here saying goodbye, or are we gonna be 3-1?
Oh no, it's over. It's over. Listen, this series is over.
The sad part is, I think they might win one.
I think they might win too.
You think win one? You think they might win also or win 2 games?
No, this win Sunday.
Okay.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all like this: Sixers played their heart out tonight,
They
and
did.
it still wasn't good enough.
That's all they gave.
What makes you think they have any chance of winning on Sunday with
Because-
Tatum not in foul trouble? Tatum gonna be hitting.
Tatum ain't doing nothing. Tatum ain't doing nothing.
According
Tatum
to
Brown and say, let me stop.
According to Brett Brown, the fake crowd noise is a lot. That has a lot to do.
Are we home? Are we home Sunday?
Yeah, we home.
We are. We was home today.
Yeah. That fake crowd was awesome too.
Yo, man, he had to be trolling, man. But listen, I'm looking at his face like this dude dead serious.
No, Al Horford is a troll. He gave that game away. He gave it away. He was like, "Listen, I got y'all. These dummies gave me $100 million. I'm not gonna let y'all. I'm gonna get y'all some rest for the next."
He like the bull. He like the bull from the Cowboys.
Let's be real though.
Oh yeah, what was his name? The quarterback.
The ball from the Cowboys, the cornerback ball that came in and was trying to
sabotaging
the Tim squad. Yeah.
What did we really expect Al Horford to do? I mean, 10, 12 points is his max.
He gave us 6.
Huh?
So he gave us 6.
Yeah, but are we expecting too much out of Al Horford?
He's 7 foot. Did you see him getting his shot ate up by like Jayden Brown and Tatum? Like
he's not very athletic.
They had Kemba Walker sticking him at certain points.
I seen that.
Kemba.
He's not going to be the savior. I'm going to tell you that. He's just a piece on the team.
Who thought he was going to be the savior though?
Who thought I was going to be out?
I don't know. He just. I know we're looking for more, but he's just a piece on the team. I need more. We don't really have players. I don't think we had the players that we can say, "Yo, I need you to go out and get me." Except
Toby is supposed to be that dude.
He was, but as we all realizing, he is.
But you know what though?
He is who the Clippers thought he was.
I never thought Toby was that dude.
Toby is Kunta.
Wayne, don't you start backpedaling, Wayne.
No, Wayne. No, I'm about to mute Wayne. I'm about to mute him.
No. Remember, my whole thing about Tobias Harris was him being that 3rd or 4th best player. I was hype about him when we first got him because we had him and we had Jimmy. My whole thing is you got him, Jimmy, Bede, and Ben. That's a top. That starting 5 that we were sitting there looking at. To me, that was solid. That's what I was hype up about with Toby. Like I wasn't looking at him to be nobody scoring no 25, 26 points a game. But that's what you need him to do now. And if you're getting that big money like that, that's what you should be stepping up and doing. So he's not stepping up to what he should be doing. But I never expected him to actually be Melo. When I said that, I'm saying about the way his game was, like the mid-range shot with some distance and posting balls up.
You doing a lot of stuttering, bro.
His
If you're gonna get that money, you should be stepping up.
Your boy's getting real high pitch.
Yeah.
You doing a lot of. I'm saying the boy. Nah, boy. Nope.
What I was saying was.
Like y'all ain't gonna be. No, but he disappointed me. He disappointed me to me. Honestly, he is.
No, Toby was your dude. That was your guy. You backed him up.
You mean like Ben Simmons was yours?
Yes.
He still is. I'm still gonna rock. I'm giving Ben another year. I'm still rocking with the boy. I almost turned on him because of y'all, but I'm not turning on him. I'm gonna rock with him one more year.
Okay.
I almost did.
All right.
I almost did.
Don't expect nothing. I mean, I'm cool with you saying you want to rock with him, but don't expect him to get better. That's all I'm telling y'all.
I do expect him to be better. I do.
But see, Ephraim,
but your feelings hurt.
But see that's been my point though, Ephraim. I'm looking at it as this is what he is.
Yes.
My thing is I want a coach that can get the most out of what he is. The same way I wanted a coach to get the most out of what Markelle Fultz was. Mm-hmm. If we had Markelle Fultz the way that he's playing in Orlando, and you put him on this team, and you had him starting instead of Shake Milton or any of these other dudes that Raul, or getting the minutes that Raul Neto was getting, he's a much better player. We're a much better team.
And they got Shake playing being a point guard when he's really just a shooter. They just messing. Brett Brown just gotta go.
He is.
All right, y'all. We're gonna end it right now.
All right.
And we're gonna see y'all Sunday after the game. and hopefully we'll be 3-1 going for game 2.
Sixers season.
Game 5 on Tuesday.
Hopefully I have my Eagles shirt. It helps it come in the mail. I have my Eagles shirt because that's what it's gonna be time for. It's gonna be time for Eagles talk.
Yeah, it's time for me to rock the Wentz again.
Yeah, bring that Wentz back out.
All right.
Deuces.
All right.
Later.